Cheers, welcome to Big Les Barbecue, and we're cooking a Boston butt tonight. Thought I'd have a cider while preparing. That's really nice. While preparing the Boston butt, apples, pork goes well together. Right, I'm going to start by giving it a rub, and to help the rub stick, we're going to put a smear on that. A little bit of French's mustard. You could use Worcestershire sauce, hot sauce, apple juice, or just put it straight on the meat and let it sweat in. But we're going to give that a quick rub. Make sure we get all them edges. I'm going to have to remember not to grab my bottle with that hand now, aren't I? Right. So that side rubbed up. The reason I'm rubbing the fat cap side up first is that I'm going to be smoking fat cap down tomorrow. I'm struggling to get my words out. So I'm going to prep that side up first, flip her over, and then the piece that's facing up will be ready for tomorrow morning when we get on the barbecue. So I'm going to take my pork rub, and this is a pork curry rub that I've made up tonight. It's a new rub of mine that I'm trying out. I am trying different rubs. You know, you can buy them off the shelf, you can buy them from supermarkets, buy them online, but I like to make my own. Hopefully one day I might find one that's absolutely perfect and people love. Who knows, I might even sell it in the future. Big Les Barbecue rubs, how about that? Who knows? Right. This rub's got plenty of sugar, salt, it's even got some cinnamon, some curry, some cumin, some turmeric. So if anybody wants the recipe, just leave a comment and I will send you the recipe. I decided to make it tonight just so I don't get the video too long. Right, let's flip the pork over. I'm trying to do it in a foil tray just to keep the mess down, and I've got a plastic sheet on the worktop tonight. One of the things you'll see within this fat, one of the things you'll see within the pork shoulder is all that marbled fat. That goes all the way through the pork, and that's what's going to be cooked out tomorrow through that low and slow cooking process. So plenty of smear on. We don't want it thick, we just want to make sure that we cover everything. And again, we'll start with my sweet pork curry rub. We're going to pop this in the fridge tonight and let it sit. I may give it a quick touch up in the morning, but I'll get this done ahead of time. It's going to be getting my alarm set, and it's an early morning start. I'm looking at possibly up to a 14-hour cook tomorrow, so if we want to be eating it any time in the evening and giving it a chance to rest, we want to be getting it on early doors. I think you'll see that that's well coated up. I'm going to whip my glove off because I'm going to have another drink. I'm going to say cheers, good night. We're going to get this in the fridge. I'll see you guys in the morning. One other thing, I'm going to do a big shout out. I'm getting some drinking practice in ready for the boys. We've got Mr. Brown, Simon Brown, Richard Cowlin, Dan Ladlow, Chris Howard, Colin Bonner, whoever else is coming to Newcastle. I'll do a shout out if you actually get your name down. See you soon, boys. Cheers. Right, sun's just about setting, so we're just going to get set up ready for the morning. So I'm getting everything ready now. Got the charcoal basket set up, and we've got a couple of chunks of hickory and a couple of chunks of beech wood down in the bottom of the coals. Down in the bottom of the coals means that they'll smoulder for longer and hopefully produce a nice smoky flavour on that pork. I've also got the water pan wrapped. I was wrapping it in tin foil to help with the cleaning, and down in the bottom of there is a brick that's also wrapped. Although I'm running the water pan in, I'm not running water in the water pan. I like to control the moisture by spritzing it myself. So I also think it helps keep the temperature up. Sometimes with running water in there, it absorbs quite a lot of energy and takes them temperatures too low. I'm hoping to run the cook at about 250 tomorrow. So I find that this technique really helps me maintain them slightly higher temperatures. It's a big piece of meat, so hopefully that'll help. Right, got my charcoal reserves, and I've also got my little gazebo up because the weather's not been very good. So I think I'll get sat down. Got another cider out here with me. We'll get ready for the cooking in the morning. Right guys, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, so I'm not going to talk very loud. I may do a talk over, but let's get that small chimney started, and let's go grab the meat out of the fridge. Nice and quiet, we don't want to wake the neighbours up. Right then guys, we're 5 hours into the cook. I've been spritzing the meat and checking on it on the hour since we put it on. I'm just going to run over looking after the barbecue. It's getting time to top the coals up, so I thought I'd just give it a quick top up on video. We'll give her a spritz and see what you guys think and have a look at the meat. Buster may even come and help out. I'll squeeze down into the camera. So, got my little bucket of charcoal next to the fire, and I have my trusty prod. I think it's one that my dad had from his fires, but I keep it. I'm going to open up that charcoal door. I'm just going to get into that. Give it a quick rake up, and I'll just chuck a couple of pieces of coal in. The fire management, as we all know, is a rather important part of the cooking process. I'm trying to keep them temps around 250 today. So it's going to be a long cook, so we got to keep topping that charcoal basket up. A couple of small pieces of charcoal in. We'll fasten her back up. And let's have a look at the pork. That's looking pretty good if I do say so myself. Right, I must get myself a new sprayer. I'm going to give it a spritz. This is what I've been doing on the hour. Like I said earlier on, I'm running the water pan but without water in, and I am trying to control the moisture myself. This is just a simple mix of 50% apple juice and water, just to keep it moist. Also sets the bark and helps with that bark formation. And then if you see any dark spots, it also helps with keeping them moist and stopping the meat drying out. This is probably the last time I spritz it now before wrapping. We're about 165 internal temp, so probably at the stall, near the stall, we'll see how it goes. I think I'm going to take her off in a minute. The bark's looking quite nice, as you can see, and then we'll wrap her up in butcher's paper. We'll get her back on the barbecue, and and we'll take it up to that final internal temp of about 198 before we pull it. Right, I'll get that lid back on. It's smelling good, it's making me hungry. And now I'm going to go inside and make some bread. Right then, we've taken 2 sheets of our peach butcher's paper. I bought that off online from ProQ Smokers, and I think butcher's paper is the way forward. When you've been working hard to get that bark on your meat, you don't want to wrap it in tin foil and make the bark all soggy. The bark is probably one of my favourite parts of smoking the meat and the barbecue, so I like the butcher's paper option. It keeps some moisture in the meat, but it lets the meat breathe. It soaks some of the greases up and draws it away from the pork, but again it tries to keep that bark nice and dry and crunchy. So I'm having to use my squirter bottle as a bit of a weight. It is a bit windy today, so I apologise. Let's have a look at the pork. Now we've been working 8 hours on that pork to get that nice crunchy bark. If you do the scratch test, you can see that it's absolutely beautiful. And take out my probe. We have actually gone through the stall. We've run it about 180 internal, but I wanted to make sure that I've got a nice bark before wrapping it. And I'm super happy with that bark. We're just going to get one last spritz of our apple juice and water. Again, I think I need to get myself a new spritzer. As you can see, the wind is now taking everything off me. Hopefully we can get this wrapped up and back on the smoker as quick as possible. If you want me to wrap your Christmas present, I probably won't bother. Although I don't think I've done too bad a job of that. Right, that's wrapped up now. That's going to protect our bark. It's going to keep some of that moisture in the meat. I'm going to get it back on the barbecue now, and we're going to finish to cook off up to, like I say, that internal temp of 198. If it's not probe tender at that, I will probably push it up to the 205, but we'll see how it goes. I've got my probe back in. When you're putting the probe back in, make sure you get it into the meaty part of the pork joint, not hitting the bone. I should be getting some false readings. We'll get the lid back on. It's just a waiting game now to get to that end, to get it off, get it in the cooler, and then the hardest part's coming up, leaving it in that cooler to rest. We've reached a core temperature of 198 degrees. I'm going to pull it off now because we are going to rest it for quite a few hours in my cooler box, and that temperature is going to keep creeping up, and I don't want it to overcook. So if I pull it off now and it raises 5 to 10 degrees in the wrap, I'm not overly worried, and it's going to be nice and tasty. The reason for putting it into the cooler and wrapping it is you never want to heat meat straight off the barbecue, because as you're cooking it, all the juices are forced to the outside. It's trying to push them juices out as it's getting hot. When you take it off the barbecue and rest it, that's going to let them juices that are on the outside feed back into the middle. It's going to make it juicy, it's going to make it pull better, it's going to make it extra tasty. You can see my butcher's paper has done the job of wicking away the moisture. But when you feel that meat, it feels super tender, super tasty. I'm going to pull out the probe, and then I'm quite lucky, I've got a foil bag down here which I'm going to drop my old pork in, and then I'm going to tuck it up in that foil bag, and and we're going to pop it down in the cooler, put it to bed. The longer you leave it, the juicier it's going to be. You can leave this for 2, 3, even 4 hours, it'll still be red hot when you want to pull it. So we're going to leave it a couple of hours now. I'm going to go finish a couple of other jobs that I'm doing. I've got some beans on and barbecue sauce in there, which I'll dish up at the end. I'll see you when it gets time for pulling. Right, been 2 hours, can't wait any longer, I'm getting hungry. I'm going to pop out the pork, shift my knife. Still super hot. I'm going to make a mess. There. Wait, the dog thinks this is go already. Right, let's get to unveiling the pork. Try not to lose too many juices. That looks amazing. I'm going to see if I can lift it. I don't think I can. I will try what's supposedly the instant read thermometer on a pulled pork, is to get the bone out. I really want to get it lifted and onto that board down. So I think that looks super pretty. I'll take all them juices that are in paper, keep them in the pan because we're going to bust it up in there in a minute. I'm just going to get a quick picture of that and then we'll get to breaking it down. Right then, let's see if that bone comes out clean or not. Give it a little twist, and out she comes without a bit of meat. Well, there's a little bit there. Oh, it's not there anymore. Perfect pulled pork when the bone comes out like that. Right, I suppose what we need to think about doing now is giving it a bit of a bust up. Looking at the beautiful smoke ring, smells absolutely fantastic. Taste, beautiful and moist. These bits, the sort of burnt end bits or the crunchy bark, that's the pitmaster's treat. That's mine. We'll get in the house and they'll take them off me. That curry rub, absolutely fantastic on the pork. Right, I think we'll get the pork into the tray and we'll give it a bust up. Actually, before we do a bust up, seems I've made a mess of the board. Let's make a quick sandwich. Bread bun, get some juices, it's golden. Take some leaves just to make it healthy. Take a couple of nice strands. Notice it's not mushy, it's still breaking into nice strands, nice chunks. Sauce. Squeeze it up. Let's get your what thinks this is. That's good eating. The hunch position seemed to get a good reaction last time, so we'll go in for the hunch again. Absolutely stunning. Right, let's get to busting it open. Look at the juices. That is really hot still. Look at the beautiful strands, the smoke ring, the juices that have all stopped inside. Absolutely stunning. See the smoke on the outside. The dog's actually licking the air. Shall we just, while we've got a camera person out, get a little bit of taste test for the doggy? And here we go. Buster's in for the taste test again. What do you think, Buster? Was it a good one? Good night. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Give us a like if you did. Hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification button for future content coming up. Thanks. Big Les.